Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW E100. It's the Tier 10 German SPG, and we're on the south spawn of Steppes, and the commander is Vespertin.
Los geht's.
Battle is underway. Now the GW E100 is a concept tank. It's wasn't actually built in reality. It is supposed that if Germany had continued with the Entwicklung series of tanks, the E series of new standardized tanks, that the E100 would become the German heavy tank eventually, and the E100 would be complemented by an artillery, an SPG, that was based on the E series, and that would be the GW E100. Well, this particular SPG is armed with a 21cm gun, which has got penetration of 53mm and damage of 1100, alpha damage of 1100, and a stun duration maximum of 31 seconds, but minimum of 13.95. Oh, he's been spotted. Now that would probably mean that there must be a scout somewhere along the midline, because he was only spotted when he was crossing in front of the midline there. But hopefully he's gone unspotted now. Now he's got a reload time of 32.91 seconds. It's quite long, but it is a 21cm gun. Now, oh, we did get hit by the enemy Arty. They were able to see him, or at least he was able to work out where he was. Now he's lost his radio operator, and he was damaged there in the tracks. It was proposed that they would use a 21cm howitzer and several other howitzers as well. And he got a good hit there on the Centurion 7.1 for 370 hit points. They were also going to arm it with several of the mortars that were being produced by Skoda at the Pilsen Works, one of which was a 30.5cm mortar. So it would fire a considerably big shell. It's a huge shell at the enemy, but it would be fired almost as a mortar, not as a gun. Round out on the Centurion. Oh, good hit! And a direct hit. There was definitely a sizzle as that round hit the hull. 432 hit points, and he's picked up some stun assists straight away for 46, I think. Or was that from the previous shot? I think it may have been from the previous shot. Now there are two Artys on his team. Unfortunately, the other one is a Lorraine 15551. There is a GW Tiger P on the enemy team. He's been taken out of the game already. And there's a Conqueror gun carriage. It's the Tier 10 British SPG. He fires that round in. I'm not sure if we got a hit there at all, but I think it was fairly close. So I presume that it's more than likely it did some stun assistance on that tank, or did some splash on him. We've got a Tortoise moving down, so he might be able to spot and shoot at some of the enemies who are coming in from the east side. Now, up at the north, we've occupied virtually the entire enemy cap area. They are trying to fight back from the dip. Here's an IS-3, rounds out, and oh my god, he wiped him out! 350 hit points! You got a kill! Very nice. Now it's a long reload, but even so, long enough for you to actually move about and find a new firing position. There is only one Arty in the enemy team now, so he doesn't have to worry too much about counter battery. But we've got an Object 263. Open-topped tank destroyer, so obviously he'll do a lot of damage, but he's going for the 7.1 again. And yep, he got 80 hit points from him. No, 80 points from the 263 and 136 from the Centurion 7.1. So he actually, the shell probably landed between them, and as a consequence he damaged both of them, but he didn't kill them. But I suspect that Centurion is so badly damaged that he'll probably kill it on the next shot. But these tanks have got much more in the way of hit points, and they seem to be fairly close together. We're loaded, rounds out straight away, and Or it lands near but not too close to the T10. Only does stun damage, doesn't do any splash as such. He's gone back to the Centurion 7-1. And he's indicating target. So at least that lets everyone know what he's looking at. As you know, I'm very much in favour of indicating your target, because it means everyone else knows who you are aiming at that particular moment in time. Even if you switch targets shortly before you fire, it does help your team to know who you're looking at. Now, unfortunately, RNG meant that shell went over the top of the target and landed behind him. It really does help your team to know who's being attacked, because obviously they can then take their actions based on your targeting plans. I saw a battle earlier today where somebody was holding a pass and she could see the arrows, down arrows of her Arty coming in on the tanks that she was spotting, and so it was very helpful to her to know that she had Arty on her side, even though she was all alone right up to the front guarding the pass. Right, we're aiming for that Centurion 7-1, but he's gone behind that hill, so we can't hit him now. But that T10 is in the open. Oh, we've had a request for fire from the on the FB4005 stage 2, and that's got a particularly weak armor, so he could do a lot of damage here. Rounds out. That looks good. Direct hit. 1,222 hit points. I think it did penetrate his armor, and he was taken out immediately afterwards. So that really helped. That helped a great deal. Okay, there's the enemy RT. The Conqueror gun carriage has been seen. He's headed for the corner. So he's repositioning. We're only a few seconds away from shooting. Now that Conqueror gun carriage, despite the fact that it's built on a Conqueror chassis, does have fairly weak armor, so a shot near him is actually likely to do a lot of damage. Now Object 140 though is more heavily armed, or armoured I should say. Lining up a shot. Round out. Oh, he was lucky. The shell fell to one side, stunned him, did 291 hit points of damage just before he was killed. There's a strip there as well. Again, that's slightly armoured, that vehicle. We've got a 4-tank advantage now, so it is looking very good for the team. The strip's gone down. You only have to sneeze on them, really, because they have such weak armour, the strips. Going for the Centurion again. This should be a kill shot if he gets it near. Almost loaded. Rounds out. Oh, yes it is. Beautiful. Right into his rear. And it damaged the 263, I think, at the same time. Not showing any damage to the 263, but I think that 263 probably shocked at the sight of his teammate blowing up that way. But he was stunned at least. And he is getting stun assistance, I think. There's the Conqueror again. Only a few seconds away from shooting, and the Conqueror's home to do a 3-point turn. Rounds out. Should hit him. It does. Nice hit. 494 hit points. Strips him of virtually all his armor. He's now only got 7%, and he's stationary, which tends to make me indicate to me that he was badly damaged by that, and he's been taken out of the game, and that's game over. I suspect he was trying to put crew back in and everything at that particular moment. And here's the end of battle results. It's a first-class tanker for Vespertin in the GW E100. He also picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. Got 15. A Gore's medal for doing more damage, exceeding 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. A Confederate medal for getting hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by others. And the High Calibre for doing the most damage overall in the battle, and he did it very effectively as well. That hit on the FB4005 was beautiful. 1,222 hit points from one direct hit on that tank, and of course it has got very weak armor on the turret, so it makes it very easy to do a lot of damage to that tank. Beautifully done. So let's have a look at team score. There you go. Highest damage, 4,542 hit points of damage. The highest score on the enemy team was their 50-ton, 50 TP. The Prototipo did 3,098, so at least 1,500 hit points more than the enemy managed to get. When the next highest score on his own team only had 2,134, less than half of the damage that he managed to get during that battle. When it came to kills though, it was the 50 TP, the FV215B, and then he came in after that with only 2 kills. The 50 TP and the FV215B managed to get 3 kills. So did the 50 TP Prototipo on the enemy team. He got 3. GW E100 Vespertin managed to get 2 kills. So did the Wizzy 120. And then a load of tanks with just 1 kill apiece. When it comes to base XP though, it was the ISM who managed to get the highest amount. He came in with 1,036 base experience points, and Vespertin managed to get 981. Wasn't enough for the ace tanker, but it was still very good all the same. Highest score on the enemy team was their 50 TP, managed 607. So if we look at the detail report, well, he fired 13 rounds during that battle, which is not surprising considering the fact it's got such a long reload. He got 5 direct hits, 5 penetration, good aiming, good anticipation of where the tanks would move. He got 11 splash damage. He was hitting more than 1 tank at once on some of those shots. Did damage of 4,542 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit as a result of splash damage, and that was from the GW Tiger P on the enemy team, who managed to work out where he was after he was spotted when he was crossing the center gap. He damaged 9 of the enemy, but killed 2 of them, so it was a 7 difference, and that's how he qualified for the Confederate. And he did damage stun assistance of 1,252 hit points of 14 stuns. On a premium account, he earned 69,597 credits. That's an absolute monster amount of credits. And he also, after repair and ammunition resupply, and remember the ammunition's not cheap for this particular Arty. In fact, it's very expensive. It's over 2,000 credits a round. But even after that, he still took away a profit of 32,111 credits overall. So a pretty good round. He received 1,472 XP, and there was no multiplier, so that's all he took away. But a very good round there. Only a first class, but I'm sure if he was actually to get an ace tanker, he probably would have had to have killed multiple tanks in order to get the ace. But just look at the sheer number that he did touch. I mean, that 9 tanks that he touched, he really made a big difference. And it was only the fact that his other teammates were very good at hitting the tanks that he was stunning that made it very easy for them to end the battle early and denied Vespertin the ace tanker. But he certainly did put a lot of work in there, and very well played indeed. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.